understand about these other battalions. So, because you know what I'm trying to understand is that how could we protect this huge military machinery without having any control system? And you mentioned the control system that was set up by NPFL was this Inspector General position. Where
no.
With the criminals and people who went against international law and did things outside of the mandate of the NPFL, right? But yet you couldn't function because everybody was directly reporting direct to the boss man.
The people have limitation. Even with these names I just called, the numbers of people, there's some belonging to artillery, to marine. I have no right to arrest, even to question them.
Okay.
Because they are reporting directly to the commander-in-chief.
So in essence, I understand that your position was like a figurehead position where they didn't really expect you to do much, but they just gave you the power.
People in car and going to other places and I have to check to inspect the car, give me a pass while you are going to this other control area when you do not have a pass. But I was not making major decision, planning war, no.
Okay. So then...
there are people for that.
Okay, I understand. You stated earlier that you share responsibility for the crimes of NPFL in your previous statement when you were asked.
Because
our records show that over 50.
I am part of NPFL. Okay. Originally, I was trained by NPFL. We came to Liberia and fought. Then why would I say I'm not part of NPFL? Whether directly or indirectly.
I understand.
Then I am sorry for NPFL, what they did.
Okay, thank you. Well, I was just about to say that our records show that over 50 massacres were committed by NPFL directly, involving over 5,000 innocent people, not to mention the raping, the looting, the property damage, the forced labor, the forced displacement, the economic crimes, etc. As former president of Liberia, who inherited authority from President Charles Taylor himself, who himself had been removed beyond the control of the TRC now, who, in your opinion, should be bearing the blunt of this responsibility? Meaning, who are the high commanders of the NPFL who should share this responsibility with you, since it was the NPFL that created this undisciplined 100,000 plus uncontrollable military force that destroyed our country between 1990 and 2003?
Well, if you understand the structure of NPFL, you cannot blame a man. As I told you, the connections, Taylor is living. I became president now that I have taken over NPFL. I became president of the Republic of Liberia, and there was no more war when I became president of this country. When I became president, I disarmed voluntarily. There was no war, and up to now there's no war. So the Taylor was here when the war being fought, and he is living. He organized the war. So you cannot say because Taylor is not here and because I became president. I didn't become president for war. I became president for the people of this country, by the legislature of this country.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say, sir, is that Mr. Taylor now has already been taken to The Hague for crimes in Sierra.
Yes.
So for the details of Liberia's crimes, that will have to be a future date for him. But yet, as a commission, we're responsible for accountability of what took place during the time from 1979 to 2003. And you are historically the number 2 man that should be able to provide us information that can help us in resolving this problem. So I just wanted to get you an opportunity to share with us, because as we say, immunity comes from sharing truthfully and honestly with the commission. If you don't, then there's no protection. So here we are now at a deadlock. I mean, do you have any names you can give us that should share this responsibility of the NPFL machinery with you?
But what I would do, it takes time. That I would tell you, even some of these people are dead. I had documents that if you want to send, I would send the documents to you. Okay. But I would not sit here after 4 or 5 years, 20 years almost, and say, the men were Peter. And I had documents to tell you who even died in the war, who were executed, who died. And I have to work on that and send it over to you.
Okay, we will appreciate that, sir.
Yeah.
That's all. I'll
but I won't sit here because I cannot remember directly who did what. It takes time that I will sit down and tell you who was commander of this, who was commander of that.
Okay.
You see, then you will get a clear picture of that.
I respect that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
good.
We will have somebody liaison with
Yes,
you
yes.
on that. The final area is, well, again, let me see. Okay, let me jump to one other point. The Ulimbo issue, just for clarity, it seems somewhere in one of your testimonies you mentioned about the fact that even after the disarmament and the disengagement of the Ulimbo JNK officially, they lingered on in the background, in the bushes, and were giving you all a hard time in some form. And that eventually they could have been the ones that transformed themselves into the new structure called LERD and Model. One coming from the Ulimbo J ring and the other coming from Ulimbo K. Would you like to share light on this for us, please?
Yes, after that, what happened? The people, the same Ulimbo, the same LER. LER is no different from Ulimbo K and Ulimbo J.
Okay.
And
so it was like the old enemies still following the system.
yes, exactly.
So I was wondering, I mean, did they feel that you all were not doing enough, in essence, to bring justice after you had been given a legal mandate to lead the country, especially deaths like Sam Doki and other people who just died mysteriously under a legitimate government protective environment? So why would they come up like that? In your personal opinion, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I did. I did in court a warring fashion to lay down their arms.
No, that was afterwards. But I mean, in your opinion, from 1997 to the time you did, which was 2003.
1997, that was President Taylor president.
Yeah,
I
but
dare talk about the war. It's not my business.
So it's just
My
that
God,
he was
yeah.
such an all-powerful president.
Yeah, we'll talk
Nobody
about
did anything.
2003 when our president, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you again.
Yeah.
That's all. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Witness. Before I start, I want to clarify what I understood you properly. Did you say you will make a listing of the different command structure of the different NPFL units?
Yeah, there was structure, there were different command structure.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have different units
okay,
under the executive mansion guard unit, yeah.
okay. And you say you take your time and
Yeah.
give as much, okay.
Yeah, I can give you the whole list, the
Okay.
different units, Teleray, Jungle Fire, and Wagis,
Okay,
and then the names of the
Marine,
commander,
the Navy.
Marine, then the names I can remember
yeah,
to be the commanders. I will have to furnish you with the whole details.
okay. Thank you very much. I want to just go back a little. You said you joined the NPFL in 1985?
Yeah, 85. No, I left Liberia in 1985.
You left Liberia in 1985?
Yes.
Okay, because you spent 1 year in training in Libya, and then you met Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, we spent some time in La Côte d'Ivoire. We were in La Côte d'Ivoire, to be precise, in a town in the Danane region called Banwe.
You
And
mentioned
there where we were.
yeah,
And later when Godfather came, and in 1986, September, that when we left, the first 22 men to go to Libya, and we went through Ouagadougou and on to
when
Libya.
Afro-Man approached you, he spoke to you about former President Taylor, right?
Yes, yes.
Did he speak of any other persons or structure that was involved, the NPFL, or he just started and ended with Charles Taylor?
He started and ended with Charles Taylor. He said that Charles Taylor was in Ghana in jail, but the wife of Charles Taylor, Agnes Taylor, was with him in Ouagadougou, and we should go on to Ouagadougou and sit down there and we have a better plan in Ouagadougou. And at that time we were collecting, different friends from the different villages around Danane, and we were only 22 that were agreed to go at that time, making us the first group to leave, to go to
Okay.
train in Libya.
When you met Mr. Taylor and he tried to convince all of you that this movement was necessary,
Yeah.
did he speak of how the NPFL was getting support and whether there were other people who were political leaders of the movement?
No, he did not say that in detail. he was talking about himself. He talked much about himself. He has tried to put his fighting force together because of our brother Kuyongpa died, and we are coming into the revenge of Kuyongpa, and his wife is from Nimba. He almost a part of us. He has a Gio woman, and he's like our father.
Moses Tuopu was the Secretary General
Of
the NPFL.
no,
Who was?
we never had a Secretary General. The way the place the thing was founded, there are a lot of people, wanted to join NPFL. And what happens, President Taylor had blanketed NPFL in a sense that a lot of people who want to come in, and there was a meeting held, in fact, in Ouagadougou, which I didn't attend. I was in Libya. And I heard it by rumors that other people came in, like Harry Nguyen. Other people wanted to be part of this and wanted to know who would be the head of this organization. And Taylor said, no, he's not naming anybody. He is the owner of all this organization. Until we can reach Monrovia and he has taken power, then we will know who will be the head. That way everybody kept away. People who intended to come and assist us kept away. According to Romans, the other people wanted to be part of this organization. But our chief said he first.
And he last.
Yeah.
But can you remember that Moses Tuopu came first? He made an announcement that Taylor was not the head of the NPFL, but then he returned to Greater Liberia and then he got killed?
No.
You don't remember that?
No. You see, Moses Tuopu, what I know of Moses Tuopu, what I was told is that Moses Tuopu came to Bopley in a training camp, and he was arrested upon the order of Taylor that he told people in Nigeria that he was part of the National Patriotic Front of Liberia. And Taylor did not like that. He said, why can you go out there in the name of this organization, which you are not?
Okay.
And that had an investigation started, and he got killed with his brother and some friends that came in with him.
So in the NPFL, Mr. Taylor was the number one person?
Number one. I said that here, and when the commissioner was asking, you don't play with the NPFL.
So
he's the sole owner of the National Patriotic Front of Liberia.
Who was the number two?
The number two were appointed by him.
Who was
and
the number two?
We all submitted to him.
So who was the number two? Person in the NPFL?
Oh my God. It was difficult to say, like why you were asking me to say the vice president should be the number two. When Ina was living, Ina was also questioned why communicating with relatives in America. Then that night I was in a meeting and Ina Dogola decided to resign. None of us communicate with people in America. You do some letter to people in America without the concern of the commander-in-chief of the NPFL, which is Charles Taylor.
Okay.
So he controls nearly everything in NPFL.
So there was no number two actually in the
No
NPFL?
number two actually to say, this is a man we will go to in time of trouble and something happens, we will go to appeal to this person, no.
Okay, so up to about 156 persons were trained in total in Libya.
Right.
You said that 156 that constitute what we call special forces? Or it was a different group or a subset?
That's the same people.
That's the same people.
Yeah, and there were 156 and I'm coming. In the training, 79 died in combat.
When you say died in combat,
They died in the process.
in the process.
In the process. Some died by execution, some died by fighting, but the number is 79 that died.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. I'll furnish you with the full detail of the names. Who
Okay.
died, who were executed, and all of that.
We discussed a lot about a number of figures, prominent Nima citizens and other Liberians who died during that process. Do you remember anything about the late Patrick Bido?
Yes. Well, I remember Patrick Bido, is from Tapeta, and I'm from Tapeta. So when these are people are very close to me, Patrick Bido was killed here in Mount Barclay by one son, Lato. The Lato fellow I mentioned. I was in Banga. I've just returned from Kipama sitting with President Taylor when son Lato brought a tape recording from Patrick Bido and said, Ochija Patrick Bido recording. He said, but where is the man? He said, oh, the boy killed a man yesterday. So Taylor got hungry. He said, man, like Patrick Bido, we should use this man in our organization. You just grab everybody, just killing them. That he was very angry with San Lato. I don't know what he did with San Lato. And myself felt very bad knowing Patrick Bido to be a cousin of mine, and we are all from Tapeta. He was killed by NPFL forces.
So what was on this recording that he played for? What was this recording of Mr. Patrick Bido that
I did not even listen.
Oh, you didn't hear it?
Yeah, I didn't listen. He tell us I didn't. He said, well, why would I do a recording after killing this good man? But I don't know, maybe Taylor might have known this fellow because he tells some good things about him. You say, oh, Patrick Bido, what about killing man for?
What's about Moses Washington? You have any idea?
No, I don't know about Moses.
You don't know Moses Washington?
No, I don't know about Moses Washington.
Can you tell us who replaced you in Libya as ambassador?
Yeah, it was a Gambian.
A Gambian.
A Gambian called Nyan Smack, a former bodyguard to President Taylor.
He replaced you as
Ambassador, yeah.
And he's a Gambian national.
Gambian national.
Can we talk a little bit about ATU and the Batara base? If you know, why was ATU necessary? Why were they so infamous? And there's a lot of things like massive violations that went on at ATU Batara base. Can you say anything?
I wouldn't say German because ATU were organized solely by the commander-in-chief, and his son was a full commander of ATU. So ATU was not an organization to tamper with. They were very powerful, and they could also report to the commander-in-chief. So with their function, even you have president or vice president, you dare to go into their operation because they are very, very powerful.
Was Benjamin Yeting, we answered that, you said he was doing laundry in Libya during your training.
Yeah.
After all we have said and heard about him and what you have said, can you say he was more powerful than you in this NPFL establishment?
Exactly. He became so powerful. Myself, as I said earlier, I could even salute Benjamin Yeting because he was too close to the president. And coming to Benjamin Yeting's house, he has no regard for anybody.
Okay, Honorable Blah, thank you very much for coming to the commission and giving us your testimony as you have provided today. We also thank you for the responses to our questions. We know this is our first public engagement and this may not be the last, as you have made yourself available to work further with the commission to provide other information that we may need that you cannot outrightly provide.
Exactly.
So we thank you very much for coming, Honorable Blah, and if you have anything finally to say to the Commission and the people of Liberia, this is the time to do so.
Well, Chairman, I would say thank you very much also for inviting me here at the TRC. And the other thing I would be proud to say is that to the Liberian people, whether directly or indirectly, anything that has been done by the National Patriotic Front of Liberia, I'm a part of whatsoever, because I've had a very high position, and some was newly, done, and that I can be witness of, and some was done in an absence. And with all of that, I am a part of National Patriotic Front of Liberia. So that, I will appeal to the people of Liberia to forgive me, because as I was telling the Commission, I'm a Christian, and we were dragged into this thing because of what has happened to us. And we have people coming into this organization with different intentions. And now that he has reached his point, and I'm very sorry, but I'm part of the National Patriotic Party of Liberia. So I will say to the Liberian people, I will give support to this commission, and I will come back if there's need, that I come back for any questioning. I'm available. I'm not leaving the country. And I was only afraid when I was questioned in The Hague, that took me to court. But now that I'm clear with this commission, that I'm not going to court for what I say here, or any question that I answer here. So I'm very grateful to you for that. And I thank you very much for the day spent with you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Blah, and you may kindly leave. But before that, we want to assure you again there will be no court action resulting from your testimony here. Just in case there is any, the TRC will make their representation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman.